I remember, yeah, welcome to my channel. I'm probably going to set this as my channel showcase. It is very, very nice to see you here. Thank you for being here. I'm sorry if I talk a bit fast. I'm still not really used to this. I have a script, so if I look up, that's there. I want to wish Happy Nicholas Day for anyone who celebrates it. And let's get into it. This game is very, very near and dear to me. It's a fucking mess. It was a fucking mess when it came out. It had a bunch of problems. The car spent more time on the ground than on the ground. But it was my favorite game. And I genuinely loved it and still love it very much. However, there are some issues I want to point out. This is related to me as a trans person and related to the game in general. First up, I'm going to tackle my trans problems with the issue. And second up, I'm going to tackle the other problems with this, and I'm going to actually advocate for this game because I love it and I think you should play it too. And I don't necessarily agree with the general opposition to this game as of right now. First, let's begin with the company. CD Projekt Red. CD Projekt Red was generally mired in controversy. It's their entire history, whether it was Witcher, whether it was any of the Witchers, or Cyberpunk, but they have always been described by controversy. Claire Larsol is a trans woman in the game. She's a bartender in Afterlife, and she's a side mission character. She is generally a good person. However, the way she was written is less than satisfactory, and I think it's just fucking stupid. Like, let me just put it into words. It's describing a person of this particular minority as this vengeful and annoying as she can be is honestly dangerous in my opinion. So Claire in the game is written as a trans woman who likes to race, and her husband died in a car accident, in a racing accident. It's a very extreme type of kind of derby racing, you know, much of fast cars, guns, and general death. And this trait that she was described with is honestly, all I can say is emotional immaturity. Like, she has like this, I don't know what to like describe, like heated gamer moment, and just completely loses her shit.
What the fuck did you just do?
I finished the race.
That was my one chance. Don't you get it? Stop getting out. No offense, but I need to be alone. Walk this off, okay?
Of course.
Satisfied? Was it worth it?
Yeah, we won.
Not what I was racing for.
This is your hunt for vengeance, not mine. You enlisted me to race, not to kill in cold blood.
Fuck the race! He killed my husband! The only man I ever loved!
And wants to go to the actual race and kill this guy who she thinks killed her husband. I don't think this is good depiction, and let me reason why. This, like, people, when they see a representative of a minority in some kind of media, they tend to associate that with the entire minority. So when they look at, for example, Ferocious's staff, they think that's all trans people are. Okay, so so that's the issue. And Claire is part of that issue, because Claire is someone who I don't really think would be the best representative of this. When people see her and learn that she's trans, they might, and with a good chance, they might associate trans people with her. They might think that all trans people have emotional problems, they are vengeful, they all want to kill, and yeah, this is not a good image that CDPR has put out here. I am not particularly happy with that. I'm not particularly happy with the fact that I am almost certain, okay, this is personal opinion time. A girl going on a revenge trip is not exactly the way that I think we should be depicted. The way Claire is depicted is just the cherry on top of the cake, because she is immature, she's douchey, and she's just rude. And I mean, And you are kind of tasked of kind of like anti-enabling her, like disabling her in a way. You're tasked with just randomly being like trauma dumped by this girl and then just being asked to stop her. And just what the like, why is it my job to stop her? And if I don't stop her the way she wants me to, then she's gonna get mad. Okay, it's a minor character. It's in a huge game. It's not a huge problem. I get it. I'm not going to kill and die by this point. It's not that important to me. I don't think it's that important to anyone. The other issue with trans rap in Cyberpunk is a minor one, and it can be solved by a mod, so good. The issue is that my voice determines my pronouns. Like, it's out of touch on multiple dimensions. It's out of touch in this world, because in this world, if you present femininely, but you still have a somewhat masculine voice, not many people will try to misgender you still, because people care a lot more about your opinions than your voice. And those they do are like bigots and idiots, so they don't really matter here in this context. However, generally, Cyberpunk doesn't allow that. And if you choose to have a masculine voice, then however feminine your body may be, you will be forced to use he, him pronouns. And that's kind of fucky, like it's out of touch. And it's also out of touch in the game, because in a world where people are modified to the point when their entire body is chromed and has like this padding of armor and generally just super armed and everything, in this world where blades can open out of your arms, it's not like a side of the standards to be trans. It's in fact a very, very minor thing. And people will be surprised that you are only trans and you don't have any other chrome on you. And so CD Projekt Red depicted these people for brownie points and to cater to people, especially because in general they seem to use this entire thing to make the whole Twitter outrage go away. This Twitter outrage was about a tweet that it was CD Projekt Red just responded to a random tweet, and they made like the classic like, did you assume my gender joke, which is pretty tiring after a while. But it seems like this company doesn't really understand that at this point. And people were fucking mad. Everyone lost their shit. It was like a good base for a good little Twitter boycott. Let's get on to part 2. Why I still love this game and the other issues. So the game being buggy and annoying is kind of like a dead horse that is like glue at this point. It doesn't really mean much. It's been beaten to death many, many times over and over again. The issue is, to recap, CD Projekt Red made huge promises and under-delivered on all of them. After this, they have made mistakes over and over and over and over again. And they kind of neglect the game, they neglected it, and they still kind of want to, or kind of do. But at least not to a point where I can say that it bothers me a lot. So I'm going to move on, I'm going to digress, because this point is not one I'm trying to make. I think Cyberpunk is an amazing game, but what the game is good for is a very good base for first up, DLCs. And other updates. This is at a point where it's absolutely ready for that, if it wasn't delayed all the time. However, my favorite thing about it is that I can be whatever I want to be. I can be a psychopathic killer bee who throws grenades at people, or you can be a cunning and masterful thief, or you can be a brutal nomad who just rips and tears people apart. I recommend that people, especially in the first playthrough, play normal, and then when you're epic pro gamer moment, my face when I'm an epic pro gamer, they play on hard or very, very hard, because it is good. Like ripping through the enemies with a massive fucking shotgun is as good as it gets, and it's loads of fun. Don't bother getting impulse chases though, because they still don't work. But I can advocate. I love this game. I fucking love this game. It is completely playable. I have put like 150 hours in this game, and it on the 1.3 patch. And it's so good. And I can't see any of the bugs or issues that people have described. I just can't. I don't think it's a thing that is a problem at this point. Or if it is, it's not game breaking. So, I mean, at first, the worst thing I encountered was that a car spawned in the ground when I bought it. And I really wanted a car, so I respawned it. So I had to go back and save and then try again. But it's not game breaking. And I didn't lose any kind of progress because of that. So yeah, I want this video to serve as an antithesis to this bandwagon of hate, because I don't think it works for anyone. And yeah, CD Projekt Red managed to put out one of the best games that I've ever played. And I can honestly say that. I just wanted this video to serve as a kind of encouragement. But thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.
I'm coming in.